This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
Hey, a devastating fire destroyed their home, but wait until you see how a stranger's kindness and love helping one couple rebuild their lives one piece of furniture at a time. 7 o'clock on the nose on this 6th day of July. Hope you had a wonderful July 4th weekend holiday. I know people started leaving their offices probably Wednesday to get to their
Monday afternoon.
Monday, yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's been a lot of traffic all last week, and you know, pretty much the holiday weekend's been pretty nice.
Really
this afternoon, we're going to have a little bit of rain coming in from the south, but the main thing I think you're going to notice, at least in about the next 6-12 hours, will be just that increase in humidity. It's not as kind of comfortable as it was yesterday. So it's turning more humid. We have lots of sunshine outside right now, though, Gregory. That's how it looks out at the airport, and we're going to have a good deal of sunshine next few hours, then clouds will start increasing from south to north, and they'll bring in a chance of some showers this afternoon. Temperatures now range from about 60 up in Stanton to 77 in Kilmarnock. A lot of us mid to upper 60s and low 70s. And here's Tropical Storm Chantal. Winds are at 50 miles an hour. It has made landfall in northeastern South Carolina. It's bringing moisture from the Atlantic. See the rain there working through North Carolina. Some of these showers that you see here from the Outer Banks up towards about just south of the state border over towards about east of Raleigh. Those showers are tracking to the north, so those will come in a little bit later on today. But as of right now, we're generally partly to mostly sunny. Much muggier day today. High temperatures mid to upper 80s across the metro. A little bit warmer to the far north and west where we'll have sun a little bit longer. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the metro by noon. Better chance of that south of Richmond. And then we bring in some scattered showers and storms area-wide this afternoon into very early this evening. A high today of 87 degrees. We'll have some of this rain tomorrow, and then some of that heat off towards the west comes back for Tuesday. We'll chat about it all coming up. Greg?
Michael, thanks so much. It's 7:01 right now. A celebration gone bad in the Bellwood area of Chesterfield County Saturday night. Police were called to the 2800 block of Libwood Avenue for a birthday party fight. Police say a group of people showed up that weren't invited, and they had guns, and they pulled them out. One man was injured after a suspect pistol whipped him. Chesterfield police confirms 2 arrested for brandishing and the victim taken to a hospital with minor injuries. No shots were fired. And what started as a night of celebration for the 4th quickly turned into chaos when 5 people, including 3 kids, were shot in Charlottesville late Friday, just after 11 p.m. Witnesses recall how the sounds of fireworks were overtaken by the sounds of gunfire. Police say the shoot-up between the 2 groups likely gang-related. Charlottesville Police Chief Michael Kachis says the video evidence is harrowing.
Watching that video of that shootout and hearing small kids screaming and yelling and crying when this has happened is just something that it's not easy to watch.
The investigation, now a joint effort between Albemarle County authorities and Charlottesville Police to track down those responsible for the shooting. A rally called in Richmond Saturday as demonstrators protest President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, organized by PSL Virginia and 50501 Virginia. Activists took to Jefferson Park to present their frustrations toward the Trump administration. Organizers say they're speaking up to build movement against what they call President Trump's bill for billionaires. One protester says she's most concerned about the future of those relying on Medicaid.
The amount that's being cut from Medicaid is historic, and it's going to affect everyone at home, not just disabled people, not just sick people. It's your parents, it's your friends, it's your neighbors. Everyone is going to be affected negatively by this bill.
The legislation includes tougher restrictions on Medicaid, which provides government-sponsored health care for low-income and disabled Americans. President Trump signed the bill into law as the country celebrated Independence Day Friday. The legislation also increases spending for border security and defense and extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts.
It's the most popular bill ever signed in the history of our country. You have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment in American history. We want to have strong borders.
The bill imposes work requirements for some able-bodied adults who can work and more requirement in frequent eligibility checks. It is officially moving day after newlyweds lost everything in a Shockoe Bottom fire. AJ Nwoko follows up on the couple and how a simple act of kindness turning into a long-lasting friendship.
I know, really looking forward to getting our home set up. it's moving day.
We're going to have a place to put our clothes.
No more living out of the laundry basket.
For a couple forcibly removed by flames. But in the days since that Chaco bottom blaze,
being able to come up out of something and be able to be stronger for it.
Like a phoenix.
An unexpected friendship forged after fire.
It was a very unfortunate event what led us to meet Lyle, but I think that friendship is going to be one that lasts for a very long time.
So after securing a new place and a trip to a thrift store Thursday.
Look at that.
We were able to get some household items, some cookware and a hand mixer, things like that.
Saturday, it was time for Clarissa and Kimberly Silcox to pick up the promises from Lyle Collins.
There's a microwave back there.
Yep.
Thank you.
That furniture once belonged to Lyle's mother, who passed away earlier this year. Much of it needed a new home. So after connecting with Kimberly and Clarissa through our CBS 6 story, he decided to donate what he could to their new place.
Through my sister, myself, and my mom who passed away, they were able to put a lot of good things to use. And it's heartfelt.
With a little help from family, they patiently placed each piece into a moving van.
Just slide the whole thing this way about 4 inches.
But Lyle didn't stop there.
In the front seat up here, some more goodies for you. This is all for you. Some sewing stuff.
He's like, man, I wish I could find a sewing machine, and he just overheard it.
Oh my gosh, it's a nice one.
My wife actually put together the sewing machine, the sewing kits, and that's another thing that we added to the pile.
And with our grandson being born this November, I'm just really thrilled to be able to finish that quilt and make his first little teddy bear.
This once total stranger from Beaver Dam, bearing gifts freely given.
Oh wow, gift cards.
Hey, yes, not a problem. Come here.
Double hug.
On one condition.
And all I'd ask is for you is pass it on. It's part of my life, part of my lifestyle. It's been like that for years, and I don't plan on ending it.
On the surface, it's not much.
It's been my pleasure to do this for you.
But it is a start. And for now, Kimberly and Clarissa say that's plenty.
And that's what makes my day is that they are actually getting a good restart of life.
For CBS 6, I'm AJ Nwoko.
It is 7:07 right now. While many are celebrating Independence Day, others are celebrating the peak of the summer's berry harvest. The River Street Market and multiple organizations hosted their annual red, white, and blueberry farmers market in Old Town Petersburg Saturday. The event encourages those who have never experienced the farmers market to come on out and try it. There were about 30 local vendors, music, activities for the children, food, and of course, fresh berries that had a patriotic flair. The organizations say that the farmers markets like these help promote healthy food options and enhance the well-being of neighbors. 7:07 right now. We would like to wish one of our most loyal viewers a happy Sunday morning. Mike, check this out. This is Terrence Barnes from Richmond. Terrence serves as a security guard at the Virginia War Memorial. I ran into Terrence the other day while shooting some video at the memorial. Terrence says, we make him chuckle every weekend morning, Mike. Terrence says he never misses a show on Sundays. He says he tunes in right before he goes to church services, and I told him that we could use some divine intervention. So I asked him to put some extra prayers in for us this morning, Mike. So Terrence, TB, thanks so much for watching, and we love you. So fingers crossed. We're praying. So Terrence, please put it in for us.
Yeah, so thanks for watching.
Yes, sir.
So happy you were able to meet him the other day. Well, we have some muggier conditions starting to move in as we speak. If you're going down the river today, the water level is at 5.7 feet, so you still do need the life jackets. We have a very high UV index first part of the day. Then we're going to see an increase in clouds and a few showers and storms later today. We'll time that out for you coming up next.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. At 7:09 right now, we go to Phillipsburg, St. Martin, which is the capital of this beautiful island. Oh, that person's and the little pups walking the beach.
I believe that was named after Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
Come on back.
Gambler.
One Alabama man says he is lucky to be alive after he was sucked into a storm drain during flooding last week. Drew Owen says he went out to grab soccer balls after the rushing floodwaters swept them up and away. It was dark, and Owen says he stumbled into a steep ditch and chest-deep water.
When he turned around to climb out, he was sucked down the drain feet first. Owen was swept 100 yards through the pipe, completely underwater for about 45 seconds, with two thoughts in his mind.
first was that my kids weren't going to have a father and my wife wasn't going to have her husband. And then secondly, my dad's funeral was the next day, and I'm like, I'm literally going to die the day before his funeral. I came out, the water was still flowing, but I was able to grab a tree branch. And it wasn't a very big tree branch, and I'm a big guy, so I don't know how it didn't snap. It's a God thing.
Oh my goodness.
Owen says he walked back to the house about 15 minutes later, bruised and scratched, but thankful to be alive and grateful it wasn't a kid chasing those soccer balls.
Oh my goodness. All I can think of is that scene from Shawshank Redemption at the end when Andy Dufresne is crawling through that pipe.
Yeah, and that had some velocity to it too.
Exactly.
So for us today, we're going to have a few showers and thunderstorms a little bit later on today. We're not expecting any huge flooding anywhere, but it is muggy again. We mentioned this the past couple days that the mugginess was coming back today, and that mugginess will allow any shower or thunderstorm that does fire to produce a lot of heavy rain in a short amount of time, maybe over an inch of rain in less than 30 minutes. So we could have some localized flooding in some areas today and also tomorrow. 70 at the airport now. Winds out of the northeast at 6. The dew point is back in the mid-upper 60s. It was in the 70s a couple days ago. It dropped down to the low 60s yesterday. It's now back up in the mid and upper 60s, and the dew point will climb back up into the low and mid 70s later today, and it'll hang in the low and mid 70s for the entire week ahead. So hopefully you enjoyed that less humid air Friday and yesterday, because the mugginess is back. It's 60 up in Stanton. It's 77 in Kilmarnock. Everywhere else we're kind of in between mid to upper 60s and low 70s. And here's Tropical Storm Chantal. Winds are at 50 miles an hour. This is the 24-hour loop showing you making a landfall earlier this morning near Myrtle Beach to the northeast of Charleston, and that's the current location now, moving to the north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. It is bringing moisture from the Atlantic, and you notice these little bands here that kind of rotate like this, but these bands are actually making northerly progress. So this stuff that you see here from about Nags Head to Cape Hatteras over towards Raleigh, this batch of rain is tracking northward and will move into southern Virginia later this morning and this afternoon. Track from the National Hurricane Center, this weekend's to a tropical depression, just an area low pressure as it tracks through our region tomorrow. So it's just going to give us some occasional rain showers this afternoon and into the day tomorrow. The best chance for seeing some localized heavy rainfall is the farther south and west you go, and also down near the North Carolina border. But like western Mecklenburg County over towards Danville, that's a better chance of seeing some heavy rain later today and tonight. And for tomorrow, central and eastern Virginia, that has the best chance of maybe seeing some localized heavier rainfall in the area. So clouds increase from south to north. We get some scattered showers in here by noon. Better chance of rain down towards the south, but then those showers track farther northward. So it doesn't rain the whole day. We have these batches of showers track south to north through the area this afternoon. Highs will range from low 80s to the south to the upper 80s to around 90 to the north and west. Get a little bit of a lull this evening with the exception of southwestern Virginia. Then that area low pressure swings around and rotates through the area tomorrow with some showers and thunderstorms around through the morning through midday. And then the chance rains higher east of I-95 in the afternoon. And as I mentioned, stays muggy the whole week ahead, upper 80s tomorrow, but then with some more sunshine popping out on Tuesday, a high of 94 with a feels like temp cracking 100. 91 on Wednesday, chance of rain pops up a little bit more on Thursday, and we stay in the upper 80s to around 90 the second half of the week. Greg.
Michael, thanks. 7:15 right now, a world record that's finger-licking good. How one Argentinian town roasts a massive feast that just crushed the competition. That's next. And hey, watch this. 7:18, we are motoring through these 2 hours there, Michael. It's time for Hey, Watch This, Part 2.
A small town in Argentina has cooked up a massive world record.
We do mean massive. The folks there roasted more than 9.5 tons of chicken during a charity event last month. The impressive feat shattered the previous Guinness World Records for largest serving of roast chicken by more than a ton. The event had endless rows of chickens roasting as crowds gathered to celebrate the town's 242nd anniversary. The massive cookout also marked the 60th anniversary of an area poultry company that helped organize the event. The town's mayor called it an unforgettable day for the community, but forgettable day for all of the chickens that were there.
They're walking around like, hey, what's that sound? It's not clucking because there are no chickens left. Not in this country.
Zero. A Virginia man has been reunited with his wedding ring after losing it at a Christmas tree farm 15 years ago.
Wow, Wayne Corprew lost the gold band while cutting down a Christmas tree at Joe's Trees in Newport back in 2010. Despite returning with a metal detector and searching through the snow the next day, the $1,000 ring remained missing. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago when farm owners Darren and Samantha Gilreth were planting corn. Samantha spotted the wedding ring lying on freshly tilled soil near their pumpkin patch. And the farm that had kept Corprew's contact information on a note for 15 years, so that allowed them to return the ring to the person that we've been talking about.
I couldn't believe when I saw the Joe's Trees come up. Of course, I had no idea. And then Darren said, asked me if I described the ring to him. He said, "Yep, we found it." So yeah, it was amazing.
Wayne says he's grateful to the farm and plans to transform the ring into a new piece of jewelry.
How about that?
Wow. Yeah, I lost it at the Christmas tree farm. That's and then 15 years later, there's been this kind of moldy Post-it note on a board up there for 15 years. And should we take it down? There's still hope. Well, take a look at this. Greg is super excited about this. Chuck E. Cheese isn't just where a kid can be a kid anymore.
No, the chain has announced it's opening arcades for adults.
Oh, yeah.
They are called Chuck's Arcade. The company says they'll feature nostalgic arcade games like Donkey Kong, my fave, and Mortal Kombat, along with newer games like Halo and Connect 4. Hoops. Pretty sneaky, sis. Adults will be able to win prizes too, and there will be old school Chuck E. Cheese merch available to purchase. The chain says each Chuck's Arcade location will have a different feel with original artwork and a full food menu. So far, there are 10 Chuck's Arcades locations open at malls all across the United States. Sign me up.
I'm seeing 4 things. You, margaritas, a ball pit, and me having to bail you out of jail. One of the.
Can I play Donkey Kong at least a couple of games?
I think some of that's a good idea. Other ones, I mean, I don't know.
You can get anything from this side right here.
Yeah, from the jerk. Anything from this rope. You can win just something in that 1 square inch.
The Steve Martin.
He hates these cans.
It was thought to be lost to the pages of time, but now a relic from World War II is coming back where it belongs. Wayne Colville shows us how a veteran is helping create a homecoming decades in the making. But first, though, we've got some pause for pets.
Good morning. It's the new cutting-edge desk cat. Do you need a little motivation while working from home? Say hello to Shirley, who's adoptable from Goochland Community Cats. She's about 5 to 6 years old. Shirley is the kind of cat who will gently nudge your keyboard to remind you that it's time for her back-to-back catnip-fueled performance. Why sit at your desk working in a bleak solitude when you can adopt this fabulous desk cat who is designed to make any work-from-home experience infinitely more delightful? Adopt Shirley today and let the productivity begin with a healthy dose of kitty headbutts. If you're interested in meeting her, please send an email to gccatinfo@gmail.com. I'm Mike Goldberg with this morning's Pause for Pets.
Hey, Scolding, we'll see him on our news this evening. Outside currently, we have some sunshine across the region. It's turning more humid, and it's going to be a muggier day ahead. Temperatures now are in the 60s to low 70s, a little bit warmer near the coast. Tropical storm Chantal, 50-mile-an-hour winds. It has made landfall in northeastern South Carolina. The moisture that you see here moving into North Carolina is pressing northward, so we'll see clouds increasing from south to north and a chance of rain increasing south to north today. Might get a shower in the metro by noon. Better chance this afternoon with a higher chance of rain across Southside Virginia. It's going to be muggy for the entire week ahead, mid to upper 80s today and tomorrow with still some showers and storms around. And each day I'll have a chance of scattered storms after tomorrow. And it looks like our hottest day will be on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
A letter written on the battlegrounds of World War II was recently discovered in a Chesterfield County home. It was found as the house was undergoing renovations. In his latest Wayne's World, senior reporter Wayne Colville tells us how one Army veteran is making sure that the letter got back to the family.
In the village of Ettrick sits a two-story house whose address in the early 1900s was 18 Main Street.
My father was the youngest of 7.
The oldest was William Leslie Waller, born in 1906.
He was the patriarch of the family because my grandfather had passed away before World War II.
When war broke out after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, William Waller was in the U.S. Army.
Him and 2 of my other uncles went to the war.
And when the war ended in 1945, they all came home and life went on.
That generation did not talk about their service. Not the bad parts especially.
When Rudy came along,
he said, I'm the youngest of the youngest.
He learned the family name for William.
Uncle Brother.
And Uncle Brother had some unique qualities.
Tall, formidable. He was almost 6'2". Like I said, very kind of commanded a presence, I guess you could say.
And at the dinner table,
when I was a kid, if you put your elbows on the table, he'd reach over with a butter knife and pop you in the elbow with the end of the butter knife.
In 1976, though, Uncle Brother would pass away, buried in the Waller family plot at Blandford Cemetery. Rudy was just 10 years old.
I just remember there was a lot of people there.
In 1999, the Waller family home was sold.
My name is Wayne Coleman.
The same year William Waller died,
I actually joined the Army in 1976.
Coleman spent 22 years in the U.S. Army and by 1999 had a second career.
I am a real estate investor.
And he's the one who bought this house from the Waller family and began the renovation. And just after ripping up some flooring,
and then this mantle I ripped off the wall, something fell.
26 years ago, Coleman picked this envelope up off the floor of the old Waller home, and written on the envelope,
at the time, PFC, William L. Waller, and he was in the South Pacific, and he wrote to Mrs. O.M. Waller, 18 Main Street, Ettrick.
Inside, a handwritten letter from William to his mother.
The date on this letter, he was writing home on a Sunday morning, September the 12th, 1943.
In the middle of a war in the Pacific, the man the family called Uncle Brother wrote home to say,
I've been writing quite a few days, but I've been busy and also haven't had anything to talk about.
Coleman held on to the letter in safekeeping until reaching out to me a few weeks ago to try and find a relative. And Rudy would learn of the letter during this Zoom call.
That's a great surprise. That's really something special.
Among the nephew's few possessions of his Uncle Brother, a pocket watch, the U.S. flag from William's funeral, and this, a captured Japanese flag.
Everyone in that platoon signed this.
Now 82 years after Mrs. Waller received the letter at her home in Ettrick, and 26 since it was found by Coleman, this letter is now heading to Georgia to Rudy Waller and his family.
I really appreciate that surprise, and thank you so much for keeping it, and it's so safe and everything. I do appreciate it.
Rudy tells me the letter to his grandmother from his Uncle Brother will be a welcome addition to the family archives. He also says his 4 daughters, who appreciate the family's heritage, will also welcome this to the collection. That's a look inside Wayne's World. I'm Wayne Colville, CBS 6 News.
This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
From mobile phone bans in schools to cracking down on fentanyl dealers, dozens and dozens of new laws take effect, go on the books in Virginia. What you need to know straight ahead. 7:32. What I would like to know, Mike, is how hot it's going to get today, my friend.
Well, today we're going to be in the mid to upper 80s, which, this time of year should be right around 90 degrees. But yesterday, even though it was warm, it wasn't all that bad because the humidity levels were low, but it has gotten a lot more humid since last night, and it will continue to get increasingly more muggy today, and it's going to stay muggy for the entire week. We have a cloud sun mix. That's how I look down in Petersburg, and currently temperatures now range from the low mid 60s in north and west to some mid to upper 70s near the coast. We're in the upper 60s and low 70s across the metro, and versus this time yesterday, we're really starting to warm up, especially south and east of Richmond, and that's also the same area that's turning a bit more muggy right now. Let's take a look at the satellite and show you that we've got nothing going on here in Virginia. We continue to watch Tropical Storm Chantal, which made a landfall in northeastern South Carolina earlier this morning. See that little spin there, and the moisture gradually pushing northward, so we'll see an increase in clouds from south to north this morning, and then the chance rain comes in from south to north during the afternoon. High temperatures mid to upper 80s across the metro, a little bit cooler to the south, a little bit warmer to the north, and again a pretty dry morning, but then as we go throughout the afternoon, maybe a shower or thunderstorm by noontime. The chance rain goes up quite a bit more, especially mid to late afternoon, and we're just talking about a few batches of showers and thunderstorms. Won't rain the whole day, but with it being so muggy, any storm that does pop up could have some heavy rainfall. Chantal is still with us tomorrow. We'll talk about that in the week ahead coming up. Greg?
Michael, thanks. It's 7:34. Large crowds, lots of guns and alcohol. It's a mix that doesn't seem safe, but police say that is the reality in Richmond's Shockoe Bottom neighborhood right now. Officers are now ramping up operations to promote public safety in the area at a time when resources are pretty thin. Investigative reporter Tyler Lane talks to the police chief about those efforts and details the frustrations expressed by some officers and business owners.
It's just not safe to have that amount of guns around where people are drinking.
That's the underlying concern for Juan Braxton, a former Shockoe Bottom club owner who now acts as a liaison between businesses and Richmond police. He says both parties are troubled by recent activity in the neighborhood.
It's more people that's coming to Shockoe Bottom. They're not supporting any of the businesses. They come, they start their own parties, they drinking in their cars.
And he says large crowds are gathering in the streets with firearms and not necessarily going inside the clubs.
It makes no sense right now that clubs are losing so much money that it's better for them to close, and the police still have to work overtime getting the streets cleared.
The proliferation of guns we're seeing is just off the charts.
Richmond Police Chief Rick Edwards says his data shows the most weapons violations and gun thefts in the city are happening in Shockoe Bottom, but the act of holding a gun alone is not unlawful.
This is very concerning because while it may be legal to walk around and open carry, if you're mixing alcohol, drugs, and an entertainment environment, it's a recipe for disaster.
After a so-called huge melee on St. Patrick's Day, Edwards says he devised a plan to ramp up police presence on weekend nights. The chief himself worked a shift on April 6 and observed a man who had been in a fight walking with an AR-15, and Edwards pulled him aside.
While I was standing and talking to him, I noticed the outline of another firearm in his waistband. I seized that, thus I was subpoenaed to testify today for a charge of a concealed weapon.
Edwards spoke to us outside the courthouse where the defendant was convicted on Tuesday, an outcome he and prosecutors want to see more of, especially after losing many cases due to technical issues. But the operations are causing a bit of a strain on an already understaffed department. According to data we obtained, RPD has deployed the crowd management team at least 10 times between January and June. That's compared to 0 times last year. Overtime hours worked are up by 37%, and officers are now put on an on-call rotation to work these shifts.
I'd love to not spend the money, time, and risk my officers in the Shockoe Bottom, but that's where the data is telling me to go, and that's what we have to follow.
In April, Officer Anthony Catogio, who responded to a Shockoe incident, sent an email to the chief calling the area an absolute disaster, saying, quote, "I have worked this city's most violent neighborhoods for 18 years. I have never in my career seen people with guns in their hands confronting police officers." He added, "What are we going to do when there's an accidental discharge and the whole crowd opens fire? The chief will give an officer's family a nicely folded flag and be like, 'Sorry, we have no idea who killed your loved one,' because there were 100 cartridge casings."
I share that sergeant's frustrations. I have a lot of respect for him personally. I know he served this agency for 18 plus years, and I respect that. But I disagree with just kind of shouting at the sky about it. I'm looking for solutions, and you can either shout at the sky or you can try to find a solution. I'd prefer the latter.
Along with the operational strategies already in effect here in Shockoe Bottom, the chief says those solutions include striving for more accountability for weapons violations in the courtroom and advocating for stricter laws surrounding guns. Here in Richmond, I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.
Speaking of laws, Virginia has dozens of new laws after going into effect earlier this week, from cocktails to go to hidden junk fees to social media laws. Cameron Thompson breaks down some of the new rules.
On the education front, there's now a law that codifies Governor Glenn Youngkin's executive order banning students from using cell phones from bell to bell. Another would also require schools notify parents of school overdoses within 24 hours, and a third will require schools to develop policies on cyberbullying. On the crime front, drug dealers who sell product with fentanyl in it and it kills someone can be charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Big win for us moms today. It's a real huge win, and for Virginia, I'm so excited about it.
Commonwealth's attorneys will also be able to prosecute people for mail theft, which previously was only something that could be charged at the federal level.
It actually is a very important tool, and some people have been very impacted on it in a negative way.
There's also a new law that bans police from intentionally lying to or giving fake documents to minors during interrogation. And how you get takeout changes as well, as a law passed in 2021 now takes effect and bans restaurants and grocery stores with 20 or more locations in Virginia from using styrofoam containers. Smaller businesses will have to follow suit next July 1. There's also a new law directing the state to make sure children in Virginia's foster care system are made aware of resources available to them and allow the state to investigate complaints made by children over 12 without getting permission from those with custody over them.
Make sure that children who need someone to speak with can get access to them, and therefore they're being informed every year, not just when they move into the foster care system, that this exists, but they're reminded every year that it exists and how to get in touch with them.
And among some of the other laws taking effect, raising the minimum age to take part in fantasy sports for money from 18 to 21, banning hidden junk fees that businesses don't advertise in a product's price but tack on at the end of a purchase, and making it a Class 1 misdemeanor to assault a sports official.
Now, if you go to our website, WTVR.com, you'll find a list with more of the bills taking effect today, or those that were passed this year but have a delayed start date, including one that will require social media companies to put a 1-hour daily time limit on users under the age of 16, but give parents the ability to increase or decrease that limit. That has a start date of January 1. In Richmond, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
You are invited to help us fight childhood cancer. Come join CBS 6 at our annual Anthem Lemonade stand Friday, July 18th. We'll be setting up outside our studios here on West Broad Street in Richmond. 11-year-old Ava right here is this year's champion as she battles leukemia. You can see her right there. You can meet some of the CBS 6 crew, make a donation, and even take aim at someone in the dunk tank. New this year, the CBS 6 Giving You a Voice Cam, allowing donors to share their voice. All this from 8:30 to 6:30 outside CBS 6 studios on 3301 West Broad Street on Friday, July 18th for Anthem Lemonade. It is 7:41 right now. We would like to say a huge happy CBS 6 Sunday morning to this fine-looking crew. Meet Matthew, Nicole, Jacqueline, CJ, Candy, Missy, Bob, and the Deborah. I met this beautiful family at Indian Fields Tavern Concert Hall in Charles City last evening during the Jangling Reinhardt's concert, Mike. This wonderful family hails from all over Richmond, Massachusetts, North and South Carolina. They had some really nice things to say about our show, Mike, and my stories. It was an honor meeting everyone. Safe journeys back to your respective homes, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching CBS 6. We love you. And Mike, I would say with all of that family number right there, I think we're up to about 27 viewers.
I think that's the case. I actually left the house yesterday and I met people as well.
You actually spoke with people in the public?
We didn't take pictures because I don't know if you might realize this. Not a joy to meet me. So there you go.
Bob and crew, thanks so much for saying hello last night.
Absolutely, and thanks for watching. Well, for today, we are tracking an increase in humidity there, Greg. If you're heading out on the James today, we'll be looking at the water level at 5.7 feet, so you still need some life jackets. The water temperature's up to 83. Clouds will increase from the south today. It's turning more muggy, and we're going to have a little bit of rain on tap. We'll track that for you coming up next. 7:45, happy Sunday. Bright sunshine outside now. That's going to change during the day today as some clouds increase from the south. Our normal high for today is up to 90 degrees. We'll be a little bit shy of that today thanks to the clouds coming in, but Tuesday is actually looking to be our hottest day of the week. Sun will set tonight at 8:33. Rainfall-wise, we're about an inch above normal for the airport location. Other areas within our viewing area have actually had a lot more rain. 70 degrees right now. We may get a shower or thunderstorm in the metro by noon, but a better chance that afternoon time through about late afternoon, early evening, and then the rain chances will go down pretty quickly as we get towards and just past sunset. Temperatures now range from 62 up in Stanton to near 80 in Kilmarnock. We have some low 70s in the metro right now, and high temperatures today will range from the low 80s to the south thanks to some more clouds there to near 90 to the north and west. A lot of us will be in the low to mid to upper 80s today, and tonight's going to be muggy with temperatures in the 70s across most of the area with the exception of up by about I-81. Here is the latest on Chantal. It has made landfall in northeastern South Carolina. It's pulling in a lot of this moisture from the Atlantic, and that rain has now been moving into North Carolina, and the center of the storm now is roughly near Myrtle Beach. Winds are at 50 miles an hour. It's moving to the north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. So this system will continue to track up into North Carolina, and this rain that you see coming in here off the Atlantic, this moisture coming in this way, these bands of rain, which are kind of up to about Nag's Head or so right now, these will continue tracking to the northwest during the day today. So that's why our chance of rain will increase. This is the track from the National Hurricane Center. It's going to weaken to a tropical depression, then just an area low pressure as it moves through our region during the day tomorrow. So that just means an increased chance of showers and storms. We're not talking about a ton of rain for a lot of the area. But let's go through it hour by hour. Sunshine to the north and clouds increased from the south during the day today. Chance of a couple showers in the metro by noon. A much better chance of that down towards the North Carolina line, though. Then we have a few little just waves, these little batches of showers and thunderstorms that track from south to north during the day. This will not last like the entire day, but these individual bands may have some really heavy rain with them because it's so muggy outside. Those track to the north and west. We get into this lull this evening with the exception of our far southwestern counties. That kind of lull lasts during the overnight, and then you can actually see the spin of the low come through on Monday during the day tomorrow, and that'll bring us a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Due to the fact that it's so muggy outside, and these storms may put down over an inch of rain in a short amount of time, so there is the potential for localized flooding, but it's not going to be a tropical system in the sense that like everyone gets 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. We're just talking about some scattered showers and storms today and tomorrow. Muggy highs mid to upper 80s. Pretty hot Tuesday. It feels like temp above 100. And then we're just in a summer pattern. Some scattered thunderstorms each afternoon, especially on Thursday. Highs the second half of the week, upper 80s to around 90. Greg.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much. 7:48 right now. From hot dogs to fireworks, there wasn't a 4th of July festivity one Richmond native would miss out on. Ahead, after the break, a look back in my I Have a Story. It's a special one where we remember and honor the Uncle Sam of Richmond and why Independence Day was oh so special to him. He was known as Richmond's Uncle Sam, who unfurled his love of Old Glory every day of the week. In this best of I Have a Story, I'm taking a look back at the man who was a fixture at area parades and memorials honoring fellow veterans. And as I found out so many years ago, Tommy Salmons had a heart that was red, white, and blue.
Tommy Salmons has never heard a bluegrass song he does not like. From the harmonica to the spoons, the Richmond native has been playing since he was knee-high.
I love life. It's better than what comes in second.
But the 86-year-old doesn't just carry a tune. He carries on a tradition unlike anyone else.
I just enjoy the freedom that it allows me.
For Tommy, Stars and Stripes truly are forever. His backyard shed and garage.
These are spares I'll pick up just in case I need them.
Look like Tommy captured the market.
A happy 4th of July.
On all things Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, that means everything. That's America you're looking at right there.
At 19, Tommy served the country during the Korean War.
I went downtown and got sworn in.
His loving and understanding wife, Barbara, of 65 years,
and people call it the Flag House,
always knows what's on Tommy's Christmas wish list.
Oh, yes. Don't buy him anything that's not red, white, and blue, because he's not going to wear it.
His broad stripes and bright stars are fixtures at parades and memorials honoring veterans, past and present. Nothing hurts Tommy more than watching our national symbol desecrated.
They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They just don't know.
Tommy holds on tight to the memory of childhood friend Leslie Turner.
Just a young man that didn't get a chance to enjoy life, but it had to be done.
Leslie never came home from World War II.
He got wounded, and they put him on a Jeep to take him back, and the Jeep ran off a mine, and that's what killed him.
Don't bet on Tommy lowering his flag anytime soon.
When it comes to the point that I can't do this anymore, I'm going to still do it. I am not going to quit.
Tommy Salmons, a Navy veteran who pledges that his colors will never run. Red, white, and bluegrass. Shortly after I produced that story on Tommy Salmons 8 years ago, that veteran called me to tell me he had a surprise for me. He came to our WTVR studios and presented me with this, a homemade American flag stand. I cherish this gift. I have it proudly displayed at my home, and I think of Tommy every time I see it. Tommy Salmons passed away in September of 2022 at 91 years of age. But Tommy, your legacy lives on, my friend. We'll be right back. Where you live could be the key to finding a better job and work-life balance. And it seems that Richmond ranks among the best places in the nation to find a job.
A new study from Smart Asset ranked nearly 350 cities nationwide to find the best job markets. Bend, Oregon took the top spot with low unemployment and incomes that grew 44% over the last 3 years. The city also boasts a short 16-minute average commute and more than a quarter of residents working remotely. Richmond and Seattle, Washington round out the top 3 cities for job seekers based on the same metrics. We're number 2. That's not bad on a nationwide survey.
You know, and after this show, and if the bosses were working, we might have to find a new show, a new job.
Yeah, there's some sections of today's show that,
We're going to be submitting for an Emmy.
You wandered off into a ditch, and I watched.
Tell us about the weather, man.
It's going to be muggy today. We're going to have some showers and storms around a little bit later on today. Full forecast is at WTVR.com. We hope you have yourselves a great week.
Well, let me tell you, I pulled you into that ditch with me there.
And we're stuck. We'll see you next weekend. Bye.